Hello everyone, welcome out to Lindbergh High School for today's Missouri Showcase featuring the visiting Festus Tigers taking on the Lindbergh Flyers. We've got, I think, a very good baseball game here for you. Festus, this squad's been in our top 20 rankings all season. I believe we still have them at number 10 in the Class 5. Lindbergh, a Class 6 school, and the number 9 team in the YBM rankings. I believe they're a top 10 team in the coaches polls as well. I'd have to go back and look. I'm not quite sure. I don't check that too much, but I believe that's the case. And so a battle, a cross-class battle here, but I think it's going to be very entertaining. Want to thank you all for joining us. Youth Baseball Midwest is a production of Red Earth Productions, LLC. And we appreciate you taking the time to join us. My staff in the truck bringing you the pictures, the graphics, taking care of all the hard stuff for me is Lauren and Drew Klutz. And we hope that you enjoy the show. So here we start out. We're Class 5 Festus Tigers. Head coach Jeff Montgomery. Their current record is 13-12-1. They play a tough schedule. This team plays a lot of Class 6 schools and a lot of the top-ranked Class 5 schools around. Their record is indicative that they are a young team, and they're relying on a lot of young players this year, led by, and they are, not to mention, they are the conference co-champions again this year for the Jeffco Athletic Association down there. I believe with might be Farmington or Hillsboro. Can't remember which one it is, but it's one of those two. They have 6 seniors on this squad, led by Brady Nolan, who is just putting up video game numbers, folks. Also, 2026 lefties Cale Schomburg and Jackson Smith. Coach, we got an interview with Coach Jeff Montgomery coming out and talking about his pitching staff. Also, 3 2027s making an impact on this team. Henry Brown, Braden Good, who is their starting shortstop and playing very well for this squad. Having to fill the shoes of Hayden Burns, who went off to college after last year. Jackson Imes, also 2027. So 3 sophomores, a couple of juniors in this team. So you can see the youth there, and they're getting better. Recently, though, this team, they've had some pretty good playoff runs recent history. In 2022, they finished in 2nd place in the state championships in Class 5. In 2023, they were the Class 5 state champs. So this team has been playing some really good baseball. Last year, I believe they won their district, but didn't get past the quarters. And to also share with you some information about this squad and the history of this program, we have our resident historian Brett Crumbaugh to bring you some history of the Festus Tigers. Drew, why don't you go ahead and roll that, buddy?
Welcome to this broadcast of the matchup between Festus High School and Lindbergh High School, brought to you by Youth Baseball Midwest. Today, we're shining the spotlight on Festus High School, located in Festus, Missouri, home of the Tigers. Competing in Class 5, District 1 of the Missouri State High School Activities Association, Festus High has made a name for itself with a tradition of excellence, both on and off the field. Under the leadership of head coach Jeff Montgomery, The Tigers have risen to the top of Class 5 athletics. In 2022, they earned an impressive second-place finish, but they didn't stop there. In 2023, the Tigers climbed even higher, capturing the Class 5 state championship and cementing their place among Missouri's elite. No doubt they will look to continue their dominance in Class 5 and will look to add another championship trophy for their school and their community. So whether you're a fan of the Tigers or tuning in to catch on all the exciting action, keep your eyes and ears peeled on Youth Baseball Midwest as we bring you the action all season long.
Appreciate Brett taking the time for that history piece. We have also our home team, the Lindbergh Flyers. Head coach Darin Scott. Current record is 20-9. Finished second in the yellow pool of the St. Louis Suburban Conference. Tough one, too. I mean, that is Rockwood Summit came out on top of that one. That's also Kirkwood. Actually, no, it's not. It's not Kirkwood. I'm sorry. It's Eureka, Lafayette, Marquette in that as well. So, again, another young team for the Lindbergh Flyers. This squad is, as we said, 20-9, but led by Ethan Cantarera and Adler Krask, who have been putting up some big numbers. We're going to see both of these young men here today. And also 2025 second baseman Luke Seiler, who is playing very well for this Lindbergh squad. And the 2026 young man Austin Jones also having a good season. So you got the three seniors, but again, that's basically it. This is a very young squad. We're going to see a freshman on the mound here in John Calcaterra pitching for this Lindbergh squad. And again, another team that's had a recent playoff history. Since 2015, this Lindbergh team has been one of the top teams in the state. They have won 5 district championships in this last 10 years. Had 2 fourth-place finishes in 2016 and 2022 in the state of Missouri. And I remember in 2022 they were there. That was a heck of a ball game. They were facing off against Tommy Lepore and the Blue Springs South Jaguars. And I think they ended up I think the game was a 2-1 ball game. Very well pitched. Bjorn, the kid on the mound that was going to Tennessee against Tommy Lepore, who's now at TCU. Started at Cincinnati and ended up at TCU. So it was a heck of a good ball game. That's been now, it seems like it has been about 4 years ago now. So that's where you're at. We had a great conversation with Coach Scott, and this team, finding their way, getting set in a very tough district. District 1 in Class 6, there isn't a bad team in there. There's no gimme games. You've got to come and bring your whole pitching staff with you for this one, and or else you might be going home a bit early with Seckman, Fox, Jackson, Oakville, to name a few. This is going to be a tough bracket. So we again have another history piece by our resident historian Brett Crumbaugh on the Lindbergh Flyers. Drew, take it away.
Welcome to this broadcast of the matchup between Lindbergh High School and Festus High School, proudly brought to you by Youth Baseball Midwest. Today we're showcasing Lindbergh High School, located in St. Louis, Missouri, home of the Flyers. Competing in Class 6, District 1 of the Missouri State High School Activities Association, Lindbergh is known for its commitment to excellence and resilience on the baseball field. The coaches and players on the Flyers work tremendously hard to field a strong and competitive team, and their results speak for themselves. In 2016, they soared to a 4th place finish in Class 5. Then, in 2022, they climbed the ranks again, earning 4th place in the highly competitive Class 6 division. While they haven't reached the top level of Missouri high school baseball just yet, their team will surely strive to bring a championship home to their school and their community. So whether you're cheering on the green and gold of the Flyers or are interested in a great matchup, keep your eyes and ears peeled on Youth Baseball Midwest.
Appreciate Brett again taking the time. Appreciate his work on these history pieces all season long. From the National Weather Service, 88 degrees Fahrenheit, southwest wind, 10 miles per hour, 67% humidity. And so we got a pretty pleasant day out here for this afternoon's game. And we're going to look at matchup history. As of what I see on the Misha site, this is the first time these two teams have played, at least in the regular season. But they do have some common opponents, and I think this is really interesting. They've both played Fox and won. They've both played Hazelwood West with wins. Lindbergh lost to Marquette, and Festus will be playing Marquette, the Mustangs, tomorrow afternoon. Oakville, common opponent. Lindbergh has a win against Oakville and a 3-2 loss for Festus. A Seckman team that Lindbergh beat 8-0, lost by Festus 9-7. They both played Vianney and lost to Vianney, which is not surprising since Vianney, I believe, only has one loss. And then you have Webster Groves. Lindbergh with a win against Webster Groves, and Festus with a loss, 4-2. So those are the common opponents that they have faced. And Lindbergh's home record here is 12-5, so they don't lose a lot at home, but they got a better road record at 7-1. Festus is 6-9-1 on the season on the road. They're averaging 5.4 runs a game, and they're allowing 3.9. Lindbergh, on the other hand, is scoring 6.8 runs a game and only allowing 3.3. So you have a pretty good disparity there, so we'll see who comes out. Both teams only, are close in this. I think that's interesting. Both, Festus almost a 4 with a 3.9 if we round it up. Lindbergh, if we round down, is at 3, so right in there as well. We're going to get our coaches' interviews in here. We start with our visiting coach, Jeff Montgomery. Had a chance to speak to him about his team before the game. Drew, let's roll that. Okay, folks, I'm here with head coach of Festus Tigers, Jeff Montgomery. Coach, thanks for taking a minute.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
It's been a minute since we saw you last. It was at the state championships.
Yeah, that's been a couple of years. Lots happened since, and it was nice meeting with you guys, and you guys got a real nice setup, that's for sure.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Coach, talk a little bit about your team here. It's district time, basically, right? Guys heading into that District 1. What do you tell us about your team a little bit?
Well, I mean, tomorrow morning's the seating meeting. We could be a 2, 3, 4. Brady Nolan is our senior leadoff hitter. He's had a great year offensively. We have struggled at times to score runs. We played a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
Kind of the year of the pitcher down our way. A lot of guys everybody's got a good arm and can shut people down. So we've got 3 good lefties that have been throwing pretty well, and I like to think we got a lot of experience too. So if we can get some luck on our side, I'm hoping we can win. You got to win them one at a time. That's how it all works. So
that's it.
It's one game at a time. That's what we tell them.
The depth of your pitching is there. We're going to see Nate Womack on the mound today. Talk to us about this young man.
He's a sophomore, and he's a working project. Just learned to throw a breaking ball a few months ago. He's 6'8". Coach Stafford, our pitching coach, done a great job with him, kind of building up his confidence and learning how to. He's really kind of grown into his body. He's like I said, he's got a lot of potential. And then you guys will see Jackson Smith likely today in relief. Jackson's really been our one all year. He's a junior, getting a lot of attention. At the next level, what he can do in college and things like that. And he's had some real dominant performances too this year. So I would imagine we're going to use both of them today to kind of set things up for districts, and then we've got a couple more to throw tomorrow.
Very good, very good. Coach, good luck to you today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Jeff Montgomery, folks. Appreciate Coach Montgomery taking the time to talk to us. We also had a chance to catch up with head coach Darin Scott from Lindbergh. Let's play that one, Drew. Okay, folks, we're here with the head coach of the Lindbergh Flyers, Darin Scott. Coach, appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, no problem at all. Thanks for being here.
Our first time down here, beautiful venue. Really, I'm looking forward to this one, and it's actually warm. I'm wearing shorts and everything.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm one of those guys that would rather be wearing shorts to coach in instead of wearing a uniform. But, no, welcome down here. We're very proud of our facility and very lucky to have it.
Absolutely. Coach, heading into districts, I know the seedings, we haven't got there yet, but your team, talk about them a little bit this year. They've played very well all season. How do you keep this momentum?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a young squad that we have, I think they've exceeded expectations a little bit, and they're a little bit ahead of the curve from where we thought they might be heading into the season. But we've done a really good job of bouncing back when we've faced some adversity here or there, and we've really bounced back and got some big wins and really competed against the best teams in the area. There
you go. You have a freshman on the mound today, which I'm looking forward to seeing Calcaterra. Talk about your pitcher.
Yeah, we've been really impressed with John all year long. He's done a good job on the mound for us and done a really good job swinging the bat as well. We still have some freshman moments every once in a while,
Sure.
but he's 14, 15 years old playing against grown men sometimes. So, but when you look at him at 6'4", 220, he's pretty much a grown man himself. So he's done a great job for us, and we're just very excited for the future with John.
Absolutely. Offensively, you guys have always had a legacy scoring runs, and it's kind of picking up the same looking down through your lineup. Your offense has been good. How do you keep getting all that production down through your lineup?
Well, you can't teach speed. And a lot of these guys can run a little bit, so we have the option of doing some different things and being very versatile on offense. And we got some guys that can combine and do both. As Cantarera has been just having an outstanding season, and really leading us off. And when he goes, we go pretty much.
Yeah. He's got some video game numbers. I was looking at those earlier. I was like, my goodness. And I think sometimes you get caught up. We try not to get caught up too much in numbers. Just kids playing, being gritty. But those jump off the page at you, Coach.
Yeah, he's a true five-tool player, and you don't see that very often in high school, and he's having an outstanding season, and just one of the most humble kids you're ever going to meet, and just does a great job for us. And, the numbers kind of reflect that this year.
There you go. Looking forward to it. Thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Darin Scott, guys. Appreciate Coach Scott taking the time. We're going to get your starting lineups here for today's ball game for the Festus Tigers. Leading off, number 2, Brady Nolan. In the 2-hole, number 17, Braden Good. Hitting third, number 3, Jackson Smith. In the 4-hole, number 48, Braden Beers. In the 5-hole, number 5, Jackson Imes. In the 6-hole, number 6, Cooper Shilley. In the 7-hole, number 14, Cale Schomburg. In the 8-hole, number 30, Ty Jackson. And in the 5-hole, the DH, Henry Brown. And let's get the defense set up for you here for this Lindbergh team. On the mound, John Calcaterra, his battery mate, behind the plate will be number 10, Lane Elder at first base, Austin Jones, Luke Seiler at second. And, C.J. Luchek at shortstop. There it is. Jack Polite at third base. Ball fouled off. Carson Stoughton, right field. In center field will be Ethan Cantaria. Cantarera. There it is. I knew I'd get there. Cantarera. And Adler Krask in left field. And we're quickly two ball. Yeah, that's what I thought, the foul ball. Sorry, guys. We got that. That was an early start. So we're rushed a little bit, but we got it all in there. Thanks for hanging in there with us. That's foul back out of play. And Nolan is on base. How'd he get on, guys? A walk? That ball is into the gap and caught. And then dropped. And on the transfer, they're saying, by Stout for out number 1.
Batting third baseman number 3, Jackson.
Oh, is an HBP. Thank you. So out number 1, and Jackson Smith coming up. Sorry for the rush here, folks. I mean, these Blues got in here and got this going. We're 10 minutes early on the start time. That's all right. It doesn't bother me. First baseman here. Throw over, Nolan back in easily. Not even a tag attempt. That's upstairs.
Hi, Brian.
So ball 1 to Jackson Smith. Oh, I'm going to get him in here in just a minute. I have to get myself settled in here to this game that just took me by surprise. And the Blues come in. I'm like, okay, cool. We got one on. I mean, first pitch, we're 10 minutes early. I'm scrambling.
I almost started to run down here, but I didn't.
You don't run anymore, do you?
Mm-mm.
That's what
I don't even trot.
Joining us on a broadcast today from the Hitting Zone podcast, the big dog himself, Mitchie the Kid Thomas.
The big dog. I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. 3 balls, 1 strike to Jackson Smith. It's a fine afternoon, right?
Yeah, wind's always blowing out, right?
I was going to dive for that one, but, I don't have that kind of quickness anymore.
What if we were on the basketball court?
No, not even a chance.
Nope.
No, because hardwood. Hard.
Yeah, well, this is harder than I think that.
Well, the concrete, yeah. He had a good jump on that. But, with 2 strikes, you got to do what you got to do, right?
You got to do what you got to do. I like this young man's cleats.
Right.
Jordan 11s.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, that's what they use.
Check out first baseman.
Oh, I see him. He better be fast. About as bright as your shirt is.
That's good piece of hitting there. Caught the shortstop, heading over. Nolan into third, standing up, and a base hit for Jackson Smith. Good piece of hitting, taking it the other way. Hit it in the hole.
Batting fourth, third baseman number 48.
Yeah, third base coach knows who his guys are, right? He's going to got a guy that's going to put in contact, guy with good wheels. He was cruising.
Yeah.
That first third was easy.
Dude, have you seen Nolan's numbers?
No.
We're going to be talking about this young man here as our player spotlight, so we'll surprise you. Just hold that thought.
No.
You're going to look, ain't you? You can't help yourself now.
I don't like surprises.
Braden Beers coming to the plate. 2 on, 1 out early in this first inning.
You like Call strike one. I said, do you like surprises?
You know, depends on the surprise.
I was going to say, like, what about after Mexican?
John Calcaterra on the mound for this team. Look at this kid. Would you think he's a freshman?
Nope.
Right.
Maybe sophomore.
Freshman.
Gonna get some size on them guns.
Stolen base for Jackson Smith, or would you call that catcher's indifference?
I call it a CI.
Okay. 0-2. Fastballs in the dirt. Or, excuse me, in the turf. I got to get used to saying that.
iPad's down, so I can't look.
Uh-oh. Ground ball, third baseman. He's coming home.
Nice play.
And makes the play. Nice job over there by Jack Polite. Making the play.
Hey, he don't look like a sophomore either.
No, right?
Batting fifth, left fielder number 33, Jackson Hines.
So that's out number 2, 5-2 if you're scoring at home. And that is ball 1. Jackson Imes. Now this is one of the wildest spellings of names I've ever seen. And it's pronounced Imes. It's fun. Throw over to first. He's back in time. It is I-J-A-M-E-S. I James. But it's pronounced Imes. That's interesting. Got to bring that up, man.
Country of origin.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I barely know how to spell, buddy.
I mean, it wouldn't be Slavic that I would think.
I'm not even sure what that means.
Big swing and a miss. Beers at first, reaching on the fielder's choice.
Wonder if he's going to send
Smith at third base, 2 outs. A 1-2 pitch. On the inside corner, paints it. They strand 2. One gets cut down at the plate. We're going to the bottom of the first inning. Festus 0, Lindbergh coming up.
I'm here with Coach Burley today at the GAC North Classic here at Car Shield. First off, Coach, thanks for getting me out of class today on this beautiful day. I'm gonna watch some baseball, you know. Sometimes you just gotta go back to the basics with them.
Sometimes, yeah.
All right, we got our starting lineups here for Lindbergh. Leading off, number 16, Ethan Cantarera. There it is, Cantarera. Woo! In the 2 hole, number 1, Luke Seiler. In the 3 hole, number 24, Austin Jones. In the 4 hole, number 18, Jack Polite. In the 5 hole, number 2, Adler Krask. In the 6 hole, number 21, Carson Stout. In the 7 hole, number 14, CJ Luchek. In the 8 hole, number 25, John Calcaterra. In the 9 hole, number 10, Lane Elder. Defensively for Festus, you have behind the plate Ty Jackson. On the mound, his battery mate will be Nate Womack. At first base will be Jackson Smith. At second base, Cooper Shilley. At third base, Braden Beers. Shortstop, Braden Good. Center field, Brady Nolan, and flanked by right fielder Cale Schomburg, left fielder Jackson Imes. All right. Nate Womack, just a sophomore. Ball one to Cantarera.
This is a big kid on the mound for Festus. I'd like to see how he grows over the next couple of years as he goes through this program with Festus.
Right.
It's a big boy.
Yeah. So we've seen some just movement. That strike before, that came back inside over that inside corner. He's got some run on that pitch. Left that one too much over the plate. Good piece of hitting there by Cantarera.
That's a good pitch, too. That's a good pitch and a little better hitting. Could be why he's got the numbers that he has on the season.
So I got to do a player spotlight here. We missed the one. We'll come back to it. It got crazy here. Crazy stuff. So for our player spotlight, presented by Youth Baseball Midwest, Nate Womack. Womack is 0-1, but he's only thrown 11 2/3 innings, Mitch. But he's got a 1.8 ERA. He's only walked 5 guys, and he has 8 Ks. His whip is 1.29, a 222 OBA, 300 on-base percentage, a little high there probably, 289 slug. So our player spotlight presented by Youth Baseball Midwest, Nate Womack, and it looks like he caught that. Stolen base, and it's 0-2 now to Luke Seiler. But as a sophomore, you see the size of this kid. He's got plenty of room to grow, Mitch.
Yeah, big time. I like the way he slings it, too.
A little different arm action, right?
Yep.
Just kind of comes, almost that ball comes right out of his shoulder almost, right?
It's interesting.
It's hard to pick up.
Yeah, that one I didn't see till it got on him. I thought maybe he was like upper 70s. It looks like his, fastball might be low 80s.
Yeah.
At least on that last pitch.
And that's what's interesting, and that right there kind of shows you what Coach Montgomery said about this young man. He just learned that curveball like 2 months ago. So it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I think some of that is, again, maybe some of his throwing mechanics. If he got a little bit more of that arm kind of through the ear.
Seiler goes down on strikes for out number 1.
He might be able to break that thing off in the future. But again, when you're learning a new pitch, it does take its time, especially, I think more than anything, to get the confidence to throw it.
Yeah.
And not be afraid that it's over the middle of the plate or something of that nature, or start it in the middle, let it break, do its job. You can't be perfect when you're starting to learn a pitch like that.
Austin Jones takes strike 1. We were talking before the game with some of his buddies, and I said, man, you wearing shoes like that, you got to be a dude. And he said that's what we told him. He's got to hit a tank or two. Looks like it missed a little low for Austin Jones. This young man can swing it, though. Just a junior. Both these teams, Mitch, are young. Oh, he hung that curveball and off the wall, just missed it. He's going to have to hustle. Slides in safe. Just missed a home run by a couple of feet.
That was on cue.
Right?
He pulls that thing, it's in the green.
So I'm surprised that Cantarera didn't get a better read on that. and score on that.
Yeah, he was on second base.
Yes, sir. So a single, a K, and a double brings up Jack Polite to the plate. 2 on, in scoring position, and Polite fouls that back for strike 1.
Just a sophomore, too.
Right? That's what I mean. I think these two teams are going to be very difficult to deal with over the next couple of years. A lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors. And that's ball 1 to Polite. I was looking at the roster. Festus, they are littered with sophomores. And the same with Lindbergh.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through some of the information that we have on these guys, and I'm seeing 26, 27s, 26, 27s, and even some freshmen out here for Lindbergh that's been key players. I haven't got into Festus's lineup yet, but I'll take your word for it. I know you do your research.
So a 3-1 count.
I'm sure you'll be shocked. I did inquire about a few of the Lindbergh guys because I do know somebody on the Lindbergh staff.
I saw that. Mitch doing his homework.
Well, it just helps that I played baseball with the first base coach.
Gentleman right down there, huh?
Yeah, my Luchek.
Oh, okay.
Which is Luchek's, I
Right.
guess on
Yep,
decks.
yep.
It's his cousin.
They got some good dude. Tyler Michelle's over here
Mm-hmm.
from the recruits.
Oh, yeah.
They got some good coaches. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
You typically have that in winning programs.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a bad coach, just be able to truck out a whole bunch of guys. I mean, that obviously can happen in some areas, but you're not going to get the chase.
Popped up, second baseman under it, makes the catch. Nice job by Shilly, because I don't think the first baseman, Smith there, he was looking up, but he'd lost it in that high sky.
Yeah, it looks like that sun's in his eyes there, too, just over the stands here to the left of us.
Yes, sir. So Adler Krask at the plate. 2 on. He's got 2 outs now, Mitch. He's working hard here in this first inning, throwing a lot of pitches, but see if he can strand those 2 runners and keep this a 0 ball game. Krask, the left fielder, he's trying to change that. Oh, that's a good spin. It had a lot of late bite.
And I think it's just one of those things that it's there, and then it's not. But
hey, Coach, I saw it.
Yeah, I swear it was belt high.
Fastball misses away.
That may have been 1.5 feet.
Well, he didn't make the same mistake. Leave too much of the plate with the base hit. And that's away. Oh, that's a great read. As the ball gets too far away from Jackson and the run scores, so that's what happens. You got to get to third base, and you never know what happens.
You never know. I actually thought that he might get out of this without a run scored because I thought that was a bad base read at the second base position when that ball hit off the top of the wall.
Right.
I thought that might cost him here when he's 0-2 on him. Almost did it again. That's the thing with you got a young pitcher and you go 0-2 and you work to a 3-2 count. You're trying to be fine. You threw a curveball in the dirt. You threw a fastball way off the plate and another fastball down. Learn to compete with all pitches, just like that.
Flown into deep center, and heck of a catch by Brady Nolan running that down. Speed kills, bro.
Never slumps.
And Lindbergh gets 1, Strand 1. We're going to the top of the second inning, 1-0 Flyers.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one.
Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. One stolen base, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness. All right, folks, we're back here. Our player spotlight. John Calcaterra, the freshman, on the mound for this Lindbergh squad. He has thrown 27 innings as a freshman. That's a lot, Mitch.
Yeah, that's a lot.
He's 2-0. He's got a 2.59 ERA with 15 walks, 28 Ks, a 1.37 WHIP, a 198 opponent batting average against. I love that. The on base is maybe a little high at 336 and a slug at 270. What do you think there?
Again, blue pits, like sometimes those numbers are skewed. You don't really know what the outcomes of some of these things are.
Sure.
But he's a freshman.
I think there's the thing, the key to it. I think those are really good numbers as a freshman. Pitching in the conference, for one, they're in the yellow St. Louis Suburban. And Class 6, and Lindbergh plays a tough schedule.
Yeah. This is my first time here, and it's been a long time since I've seen Lindbergh play.
Elder taking a break here. Looks like something caught him.
I think that foul ball hit the dirt and hit him in the chest. But coming out here and seeing this park, there's some excitement here. There's a lot of fans here for both sides.
Yep.
Festus come up
strong. Hung that curveball, and it's into left field for a leadoff single by the second baseman, yes.
97th, right fielder, number 14, Cale Schaumburg.
Cooper Shealy.
Brian, I think to have that many innings shows bunt. It's a good sacrifice.
Oh! Calcaterra rushed a little bit, and there you go.
That's what freshman nerves.
There you go. And, you're seeing both sides of it. As we put the stats up, you're seeing a little bit as a freshman, whatnot. And that's why, we player spotlight these kids. There's good and bad, especially as a freshman playing in varsity. And our player spotlight, though, presented by Youth Baseball Midwest. Most comprehensive baseball talk in the Midwest.
That would be us.
Yes, indeed. You were going to say?
Do it again. Why not?
Executed that. They might have had a shot at second there on a double play, but I don't think the shortstop got over there soon enough.
Well, at least at a force situation there. But I think as a coach, you're probably just looking at that. Just make sure you get the one there. That's a sacrifice bunt for a reason. That's why they call it a sacrifice. But I think in that last play that he just, on that last attempt that he botched that baseball, that's just him looking up without the ball in his glove. You talk about it all the time, and no matter what we're doing, whether we're force outs or turning double plays, catch the baseball first, then move on to the next play.
1 ball, no strikes now to Henry Brown. That was Ty Jackson who had the sacrifice bunt that moved over. He got second and third, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So Festus, with 1 out, trying to plate a couple of runs, get back in this ball game, get ahead in this ball game.
Well, that's a good pitch. That's a good high school pitch. You can see coach over there for Lindbergh just kind of throwing the big thumbs up there, like, "Hey, what's up?" That's a pretty solid pitch. I think it was a ball. It was off the plate, but when I say good high school strike, that looks close enough to. You wouldn't have been mad if he called it.
And that's a bases loaded walk, bases loading walk for Brady Nolan here. Not the guy you want to see.
Brady Nolan.
Not the guy you want to see here with the bases loaded.
Well, you're going to find out real quick what you're going to have as your freshman pitcher here. You know, what kind of guts he has and desire to compete. That's a good visit right here by your catcher for Lindbergh.
Yeah, because he hasn't thrown many strikes here.
Well, I mean, after the bump play, you know, does that get in your head like, here we go again? 'Cause that's the kind of the freshman. You know, as a young person, you want to try to avoid that those kinds of mistakes in a game like this, because I think this was a big game for him to pitch.
Right.
It's a very good Festus team, and they're going to come out compete. They played a little bit of small baseball. He threw it, or he booted it. You know, how do you react from that? And this is some of that freshman anxieties, if you will, learning opportunities.
There it is. And a ground ball to the shortstop. Out at 2. Not going to get the Speedy Nolan. So an RBI fielder's choice out at second. It's first and third with 2 outs.
Shortstop number 17, Braden.
I know that Nolan had some wheels. We saw it early when we went first to third earlier on the hit and run that you had. I knew he had some wheels, but I thought that was a routine double play ball. He ran that out.
Heads out.
Oh, heck of a play by the third baseman. That wind is tough out there. Ends the inning. They strand 2. They get 1. We're going to the bottom of the second inning, 1-1.
That's one way to avoid some damages. Get yourself a ground ball and a nice play by your third baseman over there calling off the catcher. That ball was out of play, then came back like a normal foul ball behind the dish would happen, and third baseman called him off, and you could see that high IQ there by another young person for Lindbergh and just a sophomore in Polite. So nice play by Polite to get out of that inning.
Leading off the inning for the Flyers, batting 6th, right fielder number 21, Carson Stout.
They got this walk-up music announcing gig pretty tight over here at Lindbergh, Mitch.
I happen to like this song, so I'm over here jamming. I saw this at Busch Stadium, and there was fire everywhere when they played that song. It was awesome.
Carson Stout at the plate leading off this second inning. Takes strike 1.
He had to take a deep breath after that one. Probably one step back.
Grounded to the second baseman.
Good hustle.
Schilly up with it. No problem. Out number 1.
7. Shortstop, number 14, CJ Luchek.
Little Billy Swire. It's a good spit. I will say that is a very good walk-up song. I love that walk-up song. I happen to really love it when the University of Tennessee gets after it, when that song comes on.
That is lined into
Right
left field and caught by Imes, tracking that nicely. Out number 2.
This is why baseball is hard, Brian. And one of my favorite things is what Barry Bonds talks about. He goes, the only thing I care about is beating one guy, not the rest of them. And if I can beat the pitcher, the rest of it's baseball after that. And that's a piece of that right there. He beat the pitcher. He was able to barrel that baseball and just happened to make a nice play out and left to get him out.
Another one.
That's
Imes.
DJ Khaled. Another one.
Calcaterra lines out to Imes, and that ends the second. That's a 1-2-3 for Womack. We're headed to the top of the third inning, 1-1.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. One stone to face, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness.
Right now with the music that they have playing in between innings, I feel like I'm in the Madagascar movie.
I like that.
Not sure what character I am, but
Mitch, our player spotlight here in this third inning is Mr. Brady Nolan. And we just saw him doing some things, speed so far. But listen to this. You ready?
send it.
518 batting average, 592 on base percentage. Now, this is not an OPS. This is just a slugging. 1.048.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
He has 34 runs scored, 25 ribbies, 10 doubles, 8 triples, 6 home runs in 98 plate appearances with 12 walks and only 8 Ks.
Okay.
21 stolen bases.
So let's take a step back here. How many singles does he have?
I didn't write that down.
Well,
I mean, total hits. I don't know, man. I was just more impressed with all the rest of that.
Yeah,
My goodness.
that's 24 hits that he has that are extra bases. That's impressive. He probably has more
crazy.
extra base hits than he does singles.
Singles. Yeah, absolutely. But leading
Ridiculous.
off is Jackson Smith, who just, the first baseman here, singled. Got it started in the first inning. Takes a big hack, strike one. Our player spotlight presented by Youth Baseball Midwest. Most comprehensive youth baseball talk in the Midwest. So make sure you subscribe. Hit the dinger. Ooh! Picket machine over there. Up with it. Almost throws it away, and he's safe. Tag. That's a nice job over there by the first baseman, Austin Jones. Polite just kind of let that one fly.
I think he had a little bit more time than he thought he had. He had one extra step to gather himself to flip that over there, but I actually thought that he caught that with his toe still on the bag.
It was close.
Yeah,
I thought he'd pulled it. Orange shoes, you can tell the difference.
They need the safety bag like they have in softball.
Yeah. And he just couldn't quite get the tag on him there.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play because that was right at his feet. He had to take a step backwards, actually glove that baseball, and the short hop, it probably would have eaten him up.
That's at the knees for strike 2. 0-2 count here to Jackson Imes. Or excuse me, Braden Beers. So we have Good and Beers. Ground ball in the hole. Going to be a tough play. And he got him. That's a nice play by the shortstop. Good strong throw. That is Luchek over there.
I actually thought Polite might try to cut that off there. Hit a little too hard.
Smith moves to second. Out number 1 now brings up Jackson Imes to the plate.
You know, as I'm watching Festus High School play here, I could see why their Legion group is a pretty talented group.
Yeah.
Especially if most of these kids stay together.
Woohoo. Wear it. All the guys in the dugout, I love it, man. They're the ones like.
There he is.
They're ducking and diving when they're up there, too. I don't want to get hit. Nobody wants to get hit by a fastball.
I mean.
Not really, you don't. I mean, you might lean into a curveball.
I mean, bases loaded.
Huh? Big hack.
I got one baseball that has hit me that I won't forget, and it's one that I easily could have gotten out of the way, and it was only runner at first base, so it wasn't that important. We were playing one of our biggest rivals.
Little looper that, not going to have enough time. That spin off that turf just caught him, and he couldn't glove it. I kind of got blocked, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah, that's what it was. If it's in the dirt, though, it stays down. So it's what you got. You got one baseball squirting, off to your third base side, and then if you're in the dirt, that probably hits the dirt and just stays in it and spins in the dirt right there.
So 2 men on, and the ball hasn't got out of the infield here for this, and popped up. That's going to get pushed to the outfield. Nice run on that by the center fielder, Contarera.
He called that early. The baseball kept pushing to right field, but as we were talking just a minute ago, I was about getting hit by pitches. This young man just got out of Kansas, the University of Kansas, so Division I pitcher comes up against.
Hold on 1 second. We got Cale Schomburg at the plate. That was Cooper Shealy that just popped out, flew out. We got first and second. 2 outs now. Schomburg at the plate. I think he got that one, Mitch.
Everybody was trotting.
A 3-run bomb for Cale Schomburg. Mitch just went,
I thought maybe the wind might push that down because it's blowing right to or left to right. I thought that was going to get pushed down. That had plenty of barrel to get over that fence. That's a shot.
And now a 4-1 lead on the 3-run home run by Cale Schomburg, who put a charge into that one. Wow.
That's a line drive, too.
Ty Jackson.
So he gives his young pitcher a 3-run lead, brings up Ty Jackson.
It's another.
Well, that carried a little more than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I thought he hit it a little better, just a little off the end of that.
So the damage done by Schomburg. Jackson flies out to center. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Tigers 4, Flyers 1.
I'm here with Coach Burley today at the GAC North Classic here at Car Shield. First off, Coach, thanks for getting me out of class today on this beautiful day. I'm going to watch some baseball, it. Sometimes you just got to go back to the basics with them.
Sometimes, yeah.
We got another player spotlight for you for the Lindbergh Flyers. Adler Krask. There he is. He saw you over there, man. Give us some love. Appreciate you, Coach. Adler Krask for this Lindbergh Flyers, senior, having a good season. 387, 525, 500. That's a pretty good slash line in and of itself. That's a good slash line. That kind of shows you where Nolan, crazy stuff. 21 runs scored. Krask has 11 RBIs, 2 doubles, a triple, and 1 home run in 84 plate appearances. He's walked 14 times, struck out 18, 11 stolen bases.
Yeah, Ks are overrated.
Ks are overrated? Man, that's a tough gig. And Krask is in left field playing very well for this Lindbergh squad, and I believe he also pitches. So, I mean, he's doing some work on the mound as well, Lindbergh here. Our player spotlight presented by Youth Baseball Midwest is Adler Krask for Lindbergh, the Lindbergh Flyers. Leading off.
We might get to see him today. He's one of the big arms that comes out of the dugout off the bench for them.
Lane Elder, the catcher, takes ball 1. Strike on the corner. 1-1. Krask, yeah, he is. I think he is just basically a bullpen guy, right?
Yeah, that's what I gather. I don't see any starting.
He went down and got that. Oh! Off the shoelaces.
I thought that was down. I thought it was down. I thought so
too. Okay. So.
One side's always upset. You always have that. No matter what it is, somebody's going to get upset.
As the home plate umpire, that's why on a play like that, you got to get out. You got to get out to the mound.
Yep.
You got to hustle out there. Get out there, hustle out there, and try and see that the best you can.
I think
we've been an opportunity.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate lately to have some really good umpiring in our games that we've done in the past 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah. So, with the leadoff runner on, it brings up Contreras. Takes ball 1. His first at bat, he singled, scored the sole run the Flyers have right now. Batting from the left side. That's away from the catcher Jackson again, and on his way to second with no throw.
Ethan said
is Elder, or I should say, I'm sure they got a courtesy runner. I didn't see the number. Did you?
And I did not. I think it was. I don't remember. 12 maybe.
We'll have to see. That yellow, I can't tell.
Oh,
that's an interesting way to do that. I don't think I've seen that.
You have.
Well, now we have.
Well, maybe. I mean, I'm not going to poke fun at him, but he looked, after he threw it, he just kind of shook his head.
It's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, he knew. In the moment.
Yeah. Grounded to the second baseman. Shilly up with it. Play made. Out number 1. Advances the runner. That's a productive out right there, Mitch.
Yeah, productive out. You know, he obviously would like to drive that run in, but that's productive. Ethan's heading to Lindenwood, and Lindenwood's going to take that all day and getting that guy over. That's a teammate B when you're down 3 runs.
Yeah.
Take it.
Luke Seiler at the plate. Struck out his first at bat. What's the best pitch in baseball?
One that's a strike?
First pitch strike, right?
Any strike? It does lead to success. Yeah, I had a conversation about this not too long ago about that first pitch strike being like the best whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to understand as a hitter, like, even if it's a first pitch strike, it still needs to be your pitch.
Oh, no, another pitch away from Jackson's having a tough time off this turf. That's the second run that scored off a wild pitch that's banged off of him.
Well, with that left arm, he's catching that left side, so it's his glove side that he's catching that he can't really get around to put that baseball back in the dirt in front of him.
So 2 runs have scored on wild pitches for Lindbergh. And a ground ball to the shortstop, up with it.
Ooh.
And made a nice play over there is Braden Good. I thought that ball got away from his hand there, and he was kind of bobbling it. Still made a good throw.
First baseman, number 24. Austin.
I actually thought he might have pulled his foot off the bag actually a little early.
Maybe. It was close. I agree. Austin Jones at the plate.
Parks went off the fence last time.
Yes, he did.
Uh-oh.
And doesn't
Right at
quite
him.
get this one. Nolan under it makes the catch to end the inning. They get one. It's 4-2. We're going to the top of the 4th inning.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. One stone to face, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness. All right, Mitch, 4 innings already. It's a quick-moving ball game, bud.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
What?
I think it took me longer to drive out here today than it is this game may take.
Oh, man.
I like strike
Can
throwing.
we get to any scores, or are we out?
I am at 9% on the battery, and so let's see what we got. If not, I'll go to my phone.
Oh, looks like it's coming back on. We had some trouble with the old iPad and some sun and some heat.
Of course, you need to sign in now, so. Oh, there it goes.
At the plate for Festus, leading off this top of the 4th inning, will be number 5, Henry Brown, the DH. Fouls it back. Another sophomore, Mitch, in this lineup for Festus.
It's just what, both of these teams, you look, again, you said it before, but it just tells you the talent that's in this space. And, I think Mulder talked about it, and the young man from Kansas City or Columbia, that Mizzou, that was doing that side of the state. I can't think of his name right
Andy
now.
Urban.
The young man? That the young kid?
On the Kansas City side?
No, that was doing our high school stuff. The kid that was at Mizzou.
Center fielder number 2, Brady Nolan.
Kid that was at Mizzou.
Yeah, he's at Mizzou and does the west side of the state and then Columbia area.
For our high
from
school. Metro Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brennan.
I couldn't think of his name, but I don't know where I was going with that. You're welcome.
So it's 1 out. What did we miss? I was looking at Mitch, and we missed the game trying to do
1-0. That's what we got.
Yeah, it's 1-0 to the second batter. We got an out. Did he strike out, guys?
Yes, that's what the dinger was for. or the little bell
All right.
was a K.
So we got two. We got too distracted. We can't do that.
I shouldn't drink that much energy drinks before I come down here. That's the key.
It's 1 out on the strikeout. Brady Nolan at the plate. He's 2 balls and a strike. And takes one. He stepped away from there.
What I was getting at was the young people that are in this state. They talked about the 2027 class maybe being one of the better overall classes with all talent.
Absolutely.
The catchers that are in that group, the outfield depth, the pitching depth.
Grounded to the shortstop, up, and he had to pick it.
Like a wedgie.
And that is out number 2. Nice play by Luchek. He's got some pretty smooth hands over there, Mitch.
Well, that one was a cookie. That was a charity.
That's those
Sunday.
cherry hops.
Yeah. Cherries.
Put the cherry on the sundae.
I was checking scores. I got the.
It's ball 1 to Braden Good.
One that I'm interested in here is Farmington and Seckman. Farmington's up 5-0 on Seckman.
Farmington's a good ball club.
Yeah, Seckman had been playing some pretty good ball up until the last couple of games. I'm not sure who's pitching for him and stuff like that, but hitting's hot and cold.
Fastball, Good pops it up. It's going to stay inside because that wind is blowing. And the first baseman, Austin Jones, makes the catch, ends the inning. That's a 1-2-3 for Calcaterra, and we're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Score, Tigers 4, Flyers 2.
It's gonna be a good one.
Gonna be a good one.
Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. One stolen base, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness. Scroll down. All right, we got some scores here for you. Click there and you'll get to the box score stuff. That'll just take you to the Mitch has got some scores for us here.
Fort Zumwalt East is up 6-0 on Orchard Farm.
Oh, wow.
Fort Zumwalt West is up 2-0 on Timberland. And St. Charles West is actually up 2-1 against Kirkwood.
Oh, wow.
That's a pretty solid matchup there. But I had Savannah, your Savages, up 4-0 on Benton.
That's one of our must-see games right there. That's a big one. Savannah up 4-0 over on them right now.
You got Ellis over there pitching a shutout. It's just 2 2/3. It's early in that game, but looks like there's just manufacturing a bunch of hits in a row to score those runs.
Leading off the inning for the Flyers.
Couple walks in
Third
between.
baseman, number 18, Jack Polite.
Jack Polite leading off here for this Lindbergh Flyers squad. Polite's having himself a pretty good offensive year, isn't he, Mitch?
I mean, looking at some of the things that going into this game about this young man, obviously if you've recognized the last name, his dad did pitch in the big leagues for the White Sox from this area, along with a few
Cardinals.
He did, but
Okay.
he was White Sox, Cardinals. I think he was kind of played with several organizations, and then obviously some of his brothers are in the next level. But just
couldn't keep that curveball fair.
Just a sophomore for this group, and when you look at him, you just go, man, you know, two more years of the gym, and this guy's going to be a problem as a senior.
Wind blowing out here today. We've seen some balls traveling, and he does it again and Can't keep it fair.
You almost hit the young lady down there just beyond the fence. He's gone a real far foul, just a little foul. He's just got to move that thing about 20 feet to the right, and he's going to hit that ball over the fence.
And that's in the turf. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's trying to bury that curveball on his back foot.
He's going to have to, because if not, he leaves that thing up, he's going to hit it out. Or keep pulling it foul, one of the two.
Misses in. Let's work back full.
I'm trying to figure out if that is some sort of a slider cutter.
Right.
Because it's not as hard as his fastball, but it's not as a changeup, and it's definitely not that slow curve that he's got. Yeah. Wonder if he's got 2 curveballs he works with.
Good at bat by Polite. Couldn't keep a couple of big hits, big ones fair, but gets the walk.
Number 2, Adler, Kraft.
Mr. Krask coming up to the old, hey, that was our bottom of the 3rd. Player spotlight, Mr. Krask here. Think we're going to see some fireworks here maybe?
No.
Okay. Ooh, he had him a little concerned over there, didn't he? That wasn't close.
I think he's going to go within the next 2 pitches.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a little slap single score run here.
I think that's what they were thinking too. So the throw over. So how many times you call the throw over there? Do you think that's called here in high school? Or is it just the pitcher's discretion?
Never 3 times.
Oh, there he goes. Then that's not a chance. He's standing up, and
that's rather impressive to be able
wow.
to stand up, slow down, and the ball's still not there.
I mean, looks like we have a new catcher behind the plate here in number 8.
Nope, I didn't see that. They didn't obviously tell us the changes, but
nope. But we have Cole. Am I right? Yeah, Cole Mollusky, a sophomore, behind the plate now. Oh, that's a great bunt, and not a chance. Krask runs very well.
There's nobody at second base. Nobody at second. That thing's wide open if he took off.
Yeah.
I know that's not normal, that you don't typically look at that, especially as he's hustling through the bag. But if he turns and sees that right away, he might be able to see that's open.
As a first base coach, you see that open there, like go, 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 go.
Yeah, you don't want to yell it either, because at the end of the day, if you start yelling it and people start running, and
right.
it would have been a foot race then.
You got to have the player see it, huh?
Yeah.
So Coach Montgomery is making a switch here. We got number 11 coming out of the dugout. And I think that's just to get Jackson Smith in the bullpen starting to warm up. And because Coach Montgomery told us that we would see Jackson Smith today on the mound. So this is a preset move. Number 11 is Leighton Winstrom, senior, coming in to play first base for the Festus Tigers. And so Carson Stout at the plate. Stout on the season, Mitch, hitting .299. He's got 13 ribbies, a double and a triple. Big spot with nobody out. And there goes the runner. And that's a strike. I like it.
Strike and road runner. Got it. Hit the wrong cue, though, there for that strikeout dinger. That's pretty funny. That was a road runner, wasn't it?
Yep. That was the road runner. Quickly 0-2 to Stout. Beep, beep, zip, tang.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know about the Tang. The Wu-Tang?
It was the Mario coin for the strikeout, my crack staff said.
That makes sense. I feel like they're pretty good at pop culture stuff.
2 on, nobody out. 0-2 to Stout. This would be a big out. Nice job by the young catcher, Molesky, coming in. You know, you don't see that much, but you could see those 2 runs were scored on those wild pitches, and he couldn't keep the ball in front, and coach makes a change.
It just tells you what high school baseball's about. They're here to win baseball games.
Right.
And, you know, you might sacrifice defense for an arm. The catcher that's prior may have a better arm, but at the end of the day, you can't give up those runs like that.
No, you can't. We got mound visit. That's just to get Smith some more, reps in the bullpen, using the old MLB strategies there, Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
Have the catcher go out and talk.
Yeah, speaking of MLB strategies, what are your feelings on the first and thirds without throws these days? You see it. You actually see it a lot at the next level, at college level and professionally. I know in youth sports it's common, but I'm not a big fan of like 14 and over baseball not making a throw, whether it's an attempt to third base, a snap throw to the pitcher, or even a snap throw catcher cut. How do you feel about it? It actually drives me bonkers.
It just depends. I understand why some coaches don't, and at the younger age levels I understand, because do you have the kids that can execute the play, and do you have a shortstop that can come in, or a second baseman that can come in and fake that ground ball back up the middle. Oh, and it's bobbled by Nolan, and they missed it. So they had the opportunity for the extra run. Coach had already stopped him, but Polite scores on the RBI single from Carson Stout.
That is one reason why you'll see me 3/4 of the way down the baseline as I'm trying to wheel somebody or hold them up, is I'm trying to read that as long as I can instead of staying close to the bag just because of angles and stuff like that. But that's a me thing. I like to do that. Sometimes I get yelled at by umpires that tell me not to go far down, that far down. I'll chase the runner sometimes.
But, we'll get back to this conversation, but we're going to have the pitching change here as Jackson Smith is coming on now to take the ball from Nate Womack. Overall, Mitch, what'd you think of Womack's performance today?
I'm excited to see what he grows into. I mean, he's got the frame to be a hoss on the mound for this group, and I think he did a good job. Change of pace, soft and softer. I don't think he's overpowering, but who knows what he will grow into.
Now in the pitch for the Tigers.
We can't close out the runs on him yet because there's still 2 on base that he's accounted for. But had the 1 strikeout, 5 hits, 1 base on balls. So, he's doing his job. Right? Jackson Smith now, a little different story here, the lefty. Jackson Smith on the season has got a 2 flat ERA, Mitch, in 35 innings pitched. He's 4-3 in 7 games started. Actually, let me see. Yeah, he started 7 games, so he's going in relief here. But he's got 3 complete games. And Mr. Smith has struck out 50, only walking 11.
Yeah, I'm watching him warm up here, and he's got 2 really good secondaries in his curveball, and it's your 2 to 7, if you will, and it's sharp. His changeup has some depth to it.
So CJ Luchek gets to face Smith coming into the ball game. Nobody out, first and third. I think that Stouts, and he bunts. Smith, nice job.
Little safety squeeze.
And it's on the wrong side. He has to get to it. Nice flip. Good job, but gets the run home and ties the ball game.
Pitcher, number 25, John Calcaterra.
So the sacrifice bunt gets the run and moves the runner to second. There's one out, and we have Calcaterra at the plate. And that is a ground ball. Shortstop up with it, throws him out. Nice job by Braden Good. I really like this sophomore at shortstop too, Mitch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar with this as much. I know that you might have gotten to see some of these kids in some Legion games and stuff like that.
This is the first time I've seen him.
This is the first time?
Yeah.
I like his build. I like his demeanor. And we're just seeing it again. There's just a lot of really good baseball players here in our state.
Yep. That's ball now to Lane Elder here with the runner at third. No, what I've seen from Good, I was looking forward to watching him. And, he replaced a very good shortstop here for this Festus squad. And Hayden Burns.
I'll take your word for that, buddy.
Oh, what's it? Hang on. You know what? I got to go back here. I think it was Boyd. I'm going to go make sure I'm not talking out my, Hayden Bates. Sorry. Hayden Bates. Jeez. Hayden Bates was a very good shortstop. He was part of those championship squads. And now you got another sophomore here taking over, and he looks pretty solid there defensively for this squad.
You look at the frame of some of these kids and and how they fill their uniforms out. And
right.
You look at him, you go, well, the kid's in the gym. He's, doing certain things to put himself in these kinds of positions to be successful.
3 balls, 2 strikes now to Lane Elder. Smith trying to strand the go-ahead run here at third. And he pops it up.
It's coming back.
Oh, heck of a play. Cooper Shilley on the run. He almost overran that a little bit.
That's a gem. For a high school play, that is a really good play.
That ends the threat. They strand 1, but not before they get 2 and tie this ball game. We're headed to the top of the 5th inning, 4-4.
It's gonna be a good one.
Give me a good one. Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. One stone to face, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness. All right, here we are. Top of the 5th inning, 4-4 ball game between the Festus Tigers and the Lindbergh Flyers. We got some guys behind us here, Mitch. Some RBC fellas.
I'm gonna assume they're Wiggins guys.
So, guys, who do you play for at RBC? What coach?
Oh, Stein. Coach Stein's team.
Yep. There you go. What a guy.
What a guy. He'll be happy you said that.
Love it. Jackson Smith will be leading off for Festus here in the top half of the 5th. Then Braden Beers and Jackson Imes. Cooper Shilley, if anybody gets on, you make those big plays, Mitch, and you never know what happens when you come back.
Let's get through this one first.
Get through this one first? Am I getting ahead of myself?
Nope, but this young man could put one in that tree. So
That's outside for ball one. We still have.
But that's what they say. You make a good play, you come up in that inning, you typically good things happen.
That's 2-0.
They are cruising over at Fort Zumwalt West. That's still a 2-0 lead for Fort Zumwalt West, but they're in the bottom of the fifth.
And that's grounded through the hole for a leadoff single for Jackson Smith.
Third baseman, number 48, Braden Beard.
Good piece of hitting right there.
Take what's given to you. You don't always have to swing for it. I like that. Nice, easy baseball. I think base hits are that's what my dad always tried to preach to us is base hits win ball games. They continue to keep the pressure on teams. You know, you hit a big fly, all of a sudden it's almost a sense of relief. You know, if you give up a 2-run shot or something like that, it's after giving up a few singles and a couple runs scored and a 2-run shot kind of resets itself. But keep hitting singles and doubles and keep the pressure on.
Strike one to Braden Beers. Got a courtesy runner over there, number 15. Which is Nolan Kostler. Yep, that's what it looks like. Oh, man. Sometimes that's why you don't use the touchscreen, because it jacks it up.
I got sausage fingers, buddy, so.
Kostler. And that is at the track, caught by Krask. Got into that.
Missed it.
That's what.
Missed it.
What do you got to do, guys? Get in the weight room, right? There you go. Get in the weight room.
I say catch more barrel, it's gone.
Catch more barrel.
It's gone if he catches barrel. Got jammed a little bit.
Jackson Imes, little dive back. That's a little. We have player spotlight for you here, presented by Youth Baseball Midwest. Braden Beers. Braden Beers, who just flew out. We just saw that. Hit it to the track. That's a 1-ball-1-strike now to Imes. Beers hitting .288 on the season, .345 and a .425 slug. He's got 10 runs scored, 20 ribbies. He's got the power. He's had 4 doubles, 2 triples, and a home run, Mitch. And that's down. Nice job by the catcher, Elder, to get over there and make that play. Moves the runner into scoring position.
Second baseman, number 19, Cooper Shilly.
If that just maybe 2 feet further, he's probably safe there.
Moves the runner up. But 102 plate appearances, 89 plate appearances, 2 walks only, and 12 Ks. Didn't walk a lot. So, and that is lined past the outstretched arm, and the throw is coming in, but not going to be close. It was offline as Cooper Shilly, who makes the big play in the outfield.
You called it.
Comes up and has an RBI, 2-out RBI single to put Festus back in the lead, 5-4.
That's how big that bunt was. I wasn't exactly sure if that's what I would call there in that situation, but clearly Coach knows what he's got in his group and has a lot of trust in his guys, and so hats off there because, you know, runner in scoring position and easy base hit.
Cale Schomburg, who put them up big with a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning, is at the plate. Strike one. Schomburg is one of their big-time pitchers as well.
Tattooed.
Little excuse me throw over there. was get off me ball.
Yeah, that was defensive. That was a defensive swing.
0-2. Molesky on deck.
Yep. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
That's a tough take, boy. Coach wanted that one.
I don't know if he took. I think he went. I think they're going to go back inside on his hands again.
Do what?
Go back inside on his hands again.
I'd look down, so he swung, but he didn't get the call. It was a check swing, Mitch. It was a check swing.
Yeah.
That is dropping over the head of the second baseman. On his way to third is Schilly. And Schomburg has another hit here in this game.
He executed his pitch there. I think that's what he wanted to do, and he just got enough that he fisted it over the second baseman.
Mitch, that is Schomburg's third hit of this ball game.
No, he didn't have an RBI there. Apologize. But he's got 3 of them, right?
Yeah, he's got 3 ribbies, a home run, 2 singles. Go ahead and have yourself a day, young man.
Do it.
And we got a pitching visit here. It looks like we're going to get a change. Just saw somebody come out of the bullpen, coached out to chat. And he takes the ball. And that's going to end the day for John Calcaterra here in the 5th inning. And we got number 22 coming to the mound. We'll step aside a second. We'll be right back.
Now pitching for the Flyers, number 42, Nathan Lees.
Entering the game for Lindbergh, number 22, Nathan Lees. He's got 13 games that he's appeared in, 2 starts. He's 4-1 on the year. He's got 26 innings pitched, so he's a guy that comes out of the bullpen quite often. Only giving up 7 runs, earned runs, 9 total. With a 1.88 ERA. He has given up a tater on the year. 23 Ks to 10 walks. But he's like that. You got your favorite 236 OBA, opponent's batting average against. So he's getting it done for this Lindbergh team. He's comes in many different situations for this group. Probably got a few tournament starts on the year, but he seems to be the go-to guy here for Lindbergh to come in relief.
All right, he's going to face Molesky, who came in to catch for Ty Jackson. Going to get his at-bat here. Molesky, let's get a little look at him, Mitch. Molesky on the year's hitting $190. He's got 4 RBIs. He's got 11 singles in 69 plate appearances. And drops a flare on the first pitch into right field for an RBI single.
Oh, there you go. Welcome to the ball game, buddy. Let me get a little flare single here. We call those duck farts.
Let's go, Henry.
So 6-4 now, Tigers. Henry Brown at the plate.
Do you prefer the Texas Leaguer or the duck fart?
I don't think I have a preference. That's a strike on the corner.
You guess which one I like?
The duck fart.
Of course.
Yeah. You're a duck hunter. I get it.
No, that's how I kept my batting average up. So I had a couple of those a week.
Spun that one in on the inside corner, 0-2 to Brown. There's 2 on, and so another run is attributed to Calcaterra. He still has 1 out there at second base. Doesn't chase. That's pretty good discipline right there, Mitch. That wasn't a bad pitch.
I think that started as a ball, but, as a young high school hitter, you could definitely get antsy on that 0-2. I'll throw it again.
Right. Long look. Least, there it is. Nice job. Polite steps on the bag, ends it. They strand 2, but they get 2 more. It's 6-4 Tigers as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning.
I'm here with Coach Burley today at the GAC North Classic here at Car Shield. First off, Coach, thanks for getting me out of class today on this beautiful day. To watch some baseball, Sometimes you just gotta go back to the basics with them.
Sometimes, yeah.
All right, folks, we have one more player spotlight for you. Leading off this inning will be Ethan Cantarera. This young man is hitting .386 on the season with .471 on-base percentage. You got to like that on-base, right, Mitch?
Oh, you got to love that. This is the
Here
guy.
You go. Here's a slug for you.
Yep, go ahead.
731 or 739 on the slug. 34 runs scored, 21 ribbies, 11 doubles, a triple, 6 bombs. 102 plate appearances, 13 walks, 12 Ks. I like the Ks are down, 16 stolen bases. So he has a pretty well-rounded offensive game.
Yeah, and he's staying in the area, too. He's going to Lindenwood, so he'll be a Lion. He's heading over into St. Charles County. Not too far from home, so he still gets some home cooking and get laundry done and stay clean. But another one of these young men that are in today's game that has more extra base hits than singles. He's got 18 extra base hits into 16 singles going into today.
That's impressive. That's why the slug is at 739.
Well, that's the difference. I mean, we've seen it with the young man on the other side of the diamond over here, and that's pretty impressive to have those kinds of numbers.
So ball 1 to Cantarera. Cantarera, he told me. Cantarera. I want to make sure I
don't have to do the names. I say number 16.
Our player spotlight presented by Youth Baseball Midwest. Most comprehensive youth baseball talk in the Midwest. So make sure you are subscribed. You can subscribe right here to our channel. Hit the like button. Please do. We got some great podcasts throughout the week. Also, our live streams. It's our last high school live stream of the season, Mitch.
Yeah. So
that blows me away.
Well, you're either going to have to tune in on the weekends to catch some of the Game 7 events, some of the Legion events, which I'm pretty excited about those because of playing Legion.
Oh, that's a nice pitch.
Playing Legion baseball and having its 100th year, I'm pretty excited to see some of those, hopefully be a part of some of that stuff.
Miss in 3-2.
They're going to have to tune in to some of our podcasts, and the only way they're going to do that is by going on YouTube and finding us.
If you're here on YouTube right now.
Yeah, well, one of my favorites is the Keep Climbing with Brett Graves. I like that podcast. It's one of the ones I like to watch.
We had a good conversation that's coming up Monday. The one that just came out on Monday was really good. Yeah, I enjoy those conversations. I like talking with all you guys. I think you bring really good, thoughtful information to what you do. It's not like, if you want to say something, you have, maybe a differing thought about something. That's okay, but you've thought through it. It's what you think. It's what you've experienced. And that's the thing I like about it, with also with Darin Sissel, when we have Kevin Mulder, Diego on talk. I love the fact that our podcasts are with people that have experienced things, they think through it. It's not just an opinion, because I think an opinion is a lot of times, it's just out of an emotional thought process or emotional
I have some of those.
reaction,
Yeah.
right? It's just a kind of, that's what opinion usually is, emotional reaction. Well, I think we have a lot of guys with thoughtful takes on what is going on in youth baseball.
Yeah, that's why I like working with this group in general. Everybody that does the podcast for these shows, and one of my favorite is Darin. A lot of knowledge. He played baseball at a high level. He's got a son that is playing at a professional level. So he's seen a lot in this game, and you when he talks, you listen, and if you don't, then you're hurting yourself as a coach.
And that ball is lined down into right field, turns and goes to third. A big throw, and not in time from Schaumburg out there. He took a shot, but
I like that he kept that baseball down.
Conterera slides in safely, right?
Kept the runner there at first base. If he throws that any higher to try to get there on the line, that guy takes off.
So first and third, nobody out. Top of the order here, we have Luke Seiler. That was Luke Seiler on the single. My fault. Austin Jones at the plate. Austin's doubled, was stranded at third, flied out to center. He's 1 for 2 today. And we're going to have a little discussion here from the coach. This might be some strategy going on here, Mitch.
It's your first and thirds. We're just going to go over it. Might make sure that somebody cuts off, or you're going to find a snap throw somewhere. Some decision's going to be made here. But this is, again, the first and third situation. You don't want to give that guy second base without an attempt at something, whether it's at third, a snap to the pitcher, because you have nobody out. So if you let him just take second base, it's an easy opportunity for them to score a couple of runs. Now, you got a big arm on the mound, so he might get himself out of it. But at the end of the day, I'd love to see Festus make a play on somebody.
Hey, if he's a bomb, we're in attack.
Austin Jones at the plate.
I feel like Austin would be a guy that would be a perfect candidate to go to the University of Miami with his cleats and his orange and green cleats and shoelaces.
Runner goes, the throw is down.
Yep, like
they
that.
had the cut play on. See, and that's what they talked about. And that's what I mean. Do you have the guys? And that's what goes back to your question earlier. At the younger ages, 13, 14, do you have the kids that really have the IQ and the savvy to execute that play? Do they let the ball go through? Can you? Where's that at? Do you have the communication from your shortstop to your second baseman? Don't let it come through. Right off the back.
That's all right.
Smith.
I'm not exactly sure you want to do that with the man on deck, but because this young man can swing it.
But you know what I mean?
I do.
And the communication to say, if you're watching that, can you let the ball come through? Could you have the communication? Let it come.
Yeah.
Take the out because you know he's right there.
Yeah, and he had that bag stolen too. So that's a high IQ play in general because he got an easy jump. So he doesn't need to let that go through. He needs to cut that no matter what is happening because the runner at third wasn't going anywhere. I mean, he actually went back to the bag. But the piece that I love that you got a courtesy runner for Lindbergh, number 17.
That's the.
Is it a straight change?
Yeah, it looks like it. correct. That's number 17 running for the first baseman. That's number 17 is for the Flyers. Number 17, Preston Roberts. And that was grounded. Oh! That's the turf hop.
Take him any way you can.
That was the big old monster turf hop.
Guys probably got a couple exit speeds that are north of 90, and here you got a little 48, 50 mile an hour exit velo buried straight in the ground that gets 2 RBIs.
And that was a base or a runway full of Flyers too,
Yeah,
Mitch.
there you go.
And got to him in. It's a tie ball game, 6-6. That's ball one to Adler Krask, who he's 1 for 2 today. He has scored a run.
Another guy with some Jordans, got some Jordan 1s on. You gotta love a guy who wears some Jordans, gotta play. It's a good play. You can see why they made the switch here to catchers, because this young man is doing a really good job behind the dish. But going back to your first and third situations, teaching these things at 13 and 14U, I think are almost mandatory.
Yes.
Not that you want
whether you can execute it or not.
Yeah, I think you have to do it, and again, it goes back to wins and losses. I know those things matter. But at the end of the day, if you're not practicing these things, when are you going to be prepared for them? Because you're not. Your high school coach wants you to have this information before you get there.
Right.
Right. Something that you could practice, because it's an IQ thing, and because you practice it at practice, you execute in games, and when you come out on the field, you have the IQ to execute.
Oh, and he puts down the bunt. Smith to it. Comes up. Boy.
He's hustling.
Krask sure does get down the line. So that's just the first out, and it puts 2 runners in scoring position. That is well executed by Lindbergh and Adler Krask.
You can see this is a non-conference game, getting after each other right
Yeah.
here, making both teams are wanting to win this game. You got the infield in, you got bunt defenses, you got bunt executions, and that's very different than youth baseball, because you don't see bunts often, and we've seen it in every one of our games how executing a bunt.
Carson Stout at the plate takes strike 1. That's outside. I agree with you. You made the point earlier with this catcher. There hadn't been no balls getting past him.
Yep. You don't, like everything else, you don't play what ifs and stuff like that, but he has been very good behind the dish. Oh, that's you.
See, and I like that technique much better. I know you get these guys that really make that big jump with the bat. I love it. Just kind of snaps it for the blue,
Yeah, you have guys that are more traditional than you see some of the one knee stuff. Again,
That's
another
a nice
play.
job by Molesky there behind the plate, not allowing that run to score.
That's selling out right there.
That's a run saved.
Oh yeah. DRS.
Grounded. Oh, past the diving Shilly. Coach is sending him. And there is a 2 RBI single for Carson Stout to make the lead 8-6 now for the Flyers.
Shortstop, number 14, CJ.
This is the thing about adjustments for teams. These Lindbergh guys are hitting Smith pretty well, and this is a big arm for Festus, and they're coming in and putting it to him.
So CJ Luchek at the plate.
We talk about it all the time, throwing to barrel speed, and the the starting pitcher for Festus threw under barrel speed, and they were a little out front. Other than the one ball off the wall, it was a hard hit ball. Smith has given up quite a few.
Yes, he has. 1 ball, 1 strike. He hasn't missed too many barrels.
That's also a pitch he is not getting over the plate. He's missing that pitch several times, so he has to, if he pitch from behind, you obviously have to give in at some point if you don't want to walk these guys. So the key to staying ahead.
2-1. Good curveball, grounded to the third baseman. Out at 2.
He could have flipped it.
He didn't turn that. I don't know if he didn't get the grip on the baseball and just held it or what. But I thought that was interesting.
Hey, I'm going to make an assumption that's what happened because I want to be on the side of that, but he's looking up in the air a little frustrated. I think he may have gave up on that play just a little bit. Wasn't hit too hard.
Right. So Crass gone on the fielder's choice. Calcaterra at the plate, staying in as the DH. 8-6 ball game. Fouled off him. Lindbergh has scored in every inning but the second. They've scored 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and now 4 here in the fifth.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how long that Festus might keep this young man out on the dish, especially if Festus responds in the top half of the 6th.
That's a lazy fly ball. Nolan on his horse makes the catch.
He almost overran it.
And that ends the threat. They strand 1, but they score 4 more and take an 8-6 lead. We're headed to the top of the 6th inning.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one. Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. 1 stolen base, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness. Well, Mitch, here we are, top of 6th inning, moving right along here. And honestly, this game's played pretty fast for as many runs as we got.
Yeah, well, I think it was in the 4th inning. You said we were cruising, and then all of a sudden 6 runs were scored.
No, I didn't say cruising. I said we were moving along pretty good.
Same thing. I was paraphrasing.
Is it really?
I was paraphrasing.
You're paraphrasing? All right. I can deal with that.
I didn't air quote it. No, and you're right, though. With you having 14 runs scored in this game, it is actually pretty efficient for these pitchers because I think both pitchers had maybe a 6-pitch inning, 8-pitch inning, so allowed them to get out of here pretty quick.
Absolutely. So we've got Brady Nolan coming to the plate here, the top of the order for Festus, and they've done some damage, although Nolan's been on once on a hit by pitch, and he reached on a fielder's choice. So he is 0 for 2 with a run scored. Actually, he was stranded at third base. Sorry, my bad. And it's ball 1. With the new pitcher on the mound, number 22. We saw him in the last inning. I want to make sure Nathan Least.
The Jesuit beat Rockwood Summit today 5-2.
Really? Spartans, that's a good win for the Spartans.
They've been playing good baseball as recent. Both Wortham and Patterson have been hitting pretty well. Oh.
1 ball, 2 strikes. That's a tight spin, man.
But I like that swing. I'm all right. He swung and missed. That's no big deal. I like the the idea. I tell you what, you could tell that the kid's inside the gym. Look at his forearm, right where his elbow bends.
Oh yeah.
So you could tell a guy's in the gym working on his biceps.
He's going to Crowder.
Huh.
I talked to him a little bit before the ball game. He's heading to Crowder. He wants to go to Arkansas, and I think that's a great path, right?
Yeah,
Crowder, go play.
Yeah, 2 years to play, and Crowder is always going to be in the mix as a junior college. They've been that way since even when I graduated in the late '90s. That there was a group that's always been good.
And I just love to hear the young man has got a plan, knows how he wants to execute and wants what he wants to do that way. Wow. So least fastball. Got to buy him.
Shortstop, number 17.
I mean, that was down the middle too. That's why he's probably upset over there.
Yeah, he missed
He knows
his
he
pitch.
should have hit that pitch. Yeah, he might have been looking for something else, and he didn't see the spin. He's got 2 strikes. Got to go.
Braden Good at the plate. Ball's upstairs. Good on the afternoon is 0 for 3. I like this young man least, man. He gets the ball. He's one of those kids, you know. Not hanging around. Give him the baseball. Let's go get in the box. I got to throw this rock at you.
I was just paying attention to Coach down there chirping at the hitters. Make sure they're paying attention to Coach.
You know, Coach Montgomery, when I first met him, whatnot, he's a big dude, man.
You like what, 6'3", 6'4"?
Yeah. Curveball hangs it, and it drops in for a 1-out single for Braden Good, his first hit of the day.
You got your colors, man, in the 2 hats. You got the Goods. That's a little of a more of a brighter blue, and then you got some orange.
There you go.
I don't know if you noticed that or not, but he had that Goods was like a bright blue bat.
Oh yeah.
And you got Jackson coming up with the orange bat.
I like that. Jackson Smith at the plate. He's 2 for 3. He has scored twice.
Uh-oh.
And he gets into one. Is that got
Way
enough?
gone.
And it does. That is gone. Second home run of the game for the Festus Tigers. And Jackson Smith takes the first pitch he sees and bangs it out of the ballpark. And, Mitch, we are all tied up again.
Whoops. That landed, by the way, like 3/4 up that hill.
Third baseman, number 48.
Yeah.
Braden
Center
Good.
fielder turned and took about 5 steps and stopped running.
You could tell by Stout when he turned and looked, he would just kind of started jogging. He's like, oh, I think that's out.
The center fielder took 3 steps, but that ball was crushed. You could hear it.
Smith and Schaumburg both playing long ball today. And another drive, but not enough. Stout's over. Makes the catch, and Braden Beers is out on the fly ball. That is out number 2. Jackson Imes.
33, Jackson Imes.
My goodness.
That ball was
2
smoked.
long balls.
Yeah, that ball was crushed.
Yeah.
Down and into a lefty, too. That's that sweet spot. You throw him there, you're going to get in trouble.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yeah. Throw me more of those.
1 ball, 1 strike to Imes. Cooper Shilley on deck. He's had himself a nice day, too, the second baseman. He's 2 for 3. I'm thinking Schaumburg, though, man. He's a 3 for.
Smitty's went further, so.
2-1. What's that?
I said Smitty's went further, so that's where I'm going.
I love it. Schaumburg's was a 3-run.
It's a and he pitched, but he hasn't pitched great, but because he's given up some runs.
I love it. I love these conversations, Mitch. Always contested, right? Always got to contest.
If anybody knows me, that's my go-to. Just to be different, just because.
Just because. So it's 2-2. Working himself a quab here, Mitch.
QAB.
Good pitch. At least a little bit upset with himself giving up the bomb.
Well,
but we're heading to the bottom of the sixth inning. Tied 8-8.
Sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning.
All right. Bottom of the sixth. This is one-upsmanship right here, Mitch.
Man. and then after that, right, come in the bottom half of that, after you just tied the ball game with one swing of the bat, you got now the top half of Lindbergh coming up, or I guess you got the 9-1-2 coming.
That's correct.
And here you go, because this could be your ball game right here for Festus.
Absolutely. Lane Elder leading off. Then it goes back to the top with Ethan Conterera and Luke Seiler. And the top of the order's been pretty good, especially after that last inning. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I did.
Everybody singing. All right, here we go. It's outside.
A few scores going around that have just become final. Fort Zumwalt West beat Timberland 3-0 at West, and Southern Boone is up 5-3 on Father Tolton.
Oh wow, that's a must-see game as well we had today.
Your Savages beat Benton 11-0 short game.
Wow. And that happens, you say who's pitching, what maybe threw off a little bit. I don't know. We'll just have to. It's 2-2, or excuse me, 3 balls and 1 strike to Elder. You don't want to lock this guy right here, Mitch, with the top of the order coming.
You do not, but it's going to be interesting how Coach handles this with one of your better hitters up.
That's fouled back out of play. And you got, I think we had a Lafayette score in there, if I'm not mistaken.
Lafayette is now up 6-4 on Parkway South. Parkway South was up 4-1.
That was one of our must-see games as well.
Yep, I was looking.
That's a good ball game right there.
Yeah, it was. Parkway South was cruising, and then just in this last inning, Lafayette had scored 6.
Good pitch, ran away from him. Elder trying to protect, couldn't catch up. Out number 1 on the strikeout.
I mean, at the end of the day, with like 2 strikes, it's always the pressure is, I think, kind of more on the hitter, on that 3-2 count, because you still have to expand your zone a little bit. And so I think he chased one there.
Luke Seiler. Excuse me. This is
Ethan.
Canterera.
Just call him Ethan.
Oh, man. Canterera. There it is.
You're nailing the pronunciation.
All right.
And I laughed when you said, I think it's player 16.
Jeez. I asked him before the game, I said, I'm going to butcher your name, young man. I'm very sorry. And he says, this is how you pronounce it. I was like, cool. And that's fouled back out of play. We got 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's one hop. Ooh! Nice play over there. That young man Shilley's made some plays at second base, Mitch. That wasn't easy.
I'm not sure if that baseball caught him or he caught the baseball.
Second baseman, number 1, Luke Seiler.
Right?
And that happens sometimes.
Baseball found his glove.
Yeah, well, you saw the hop. It just was a bouncy ball hop and just.
Luke Seiler.
I got one for you here. Brian, the Warrensburg Tigers are actually up 8-6 on the St. Michael the Archangel.
Really?
Varsity Guardians.
There you go. Warrensburg?
Warrensburg.
Very good. Ground ball to the shortstop. Good. Comes up with it.
Nice play.
And he's out. Boy, that was close. That was good hustle by Seiler. Outs made. We're headed to the top of the 7th inning. Still tied 8-8.
It's gonna be a good one.
Gonna be a good one. Definitely a different type of process.
Cut down or freeze up.
Being a coach's son.
Jackson, of course, they keep retooling. One stone to face, a hit by pitch. Oh my goodness.
Well, I hope everybody is ready for district play. I think districts are starting actually tomorrow for some clubs. I think this started today. I think Class 4 maybe start tomorrow, and I'm excited to watch what's happening because there are some big games being played this week right before district play. I think trying to challenge their clubs because some of these districts are very brutal in this state. So make sure that you tune in to, I guess, Misha's site. I'm sure we'll have some updates as well on what's going around district play as games start to finish and whatnot. But I can tell you that I will spend my few bucks. I think it's $5 to get into games, right? That's a Misha
for the
rule,
most part, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
for district play. I think in the upper on the
and
top
you can,
classes.
and most of the time you can only buy online.
Oh,
most
good
time
point.
Most of the time you have to buy online.
So you have to go to Misha's site, but I'm excited for district play.
That's what I've done, and I've seen there's been some that you've been able to pay at the plate at the place, but I think they try and just buy the ticket online. They flash and they scan you.
I got you. That's not all classes though, right? Class 1, Class 2, do they have?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I really
either.
don't. I haven't been to one. So there you go.
I'm ready for it though. Nothing
all right,
like playoff
Cooper
sports.
Shilley. Here he is again, Mitch. That's ball 1. This young man is 2 for 3. He's got an RBI, scored twice.
My bad. I'm backwards.
Oh, okay. And there's Mr. Schomburg waiting on deck.
Hence the backwards.
2-1. Coach Scott working it over there, and maybe got one there.
Maybe that's the makeup. I'm not sure, but if he's favoring that side of the plate, you might as well throw a ball on that chalk again.
Yeah.
I mean that is 6 inches off the plate.
Little squibber up the middle.
Nice play.
Outstanding play by Luchek. Shortstops have been really good here today.
Right fielder, number
Man.
15, Kale Schomburg.
I cannot stress enough to watch high school baseball. If you have a young player, 12, 13, 14 years old,
Yeah. Get out here and watch
you have
baseball. We had the kids here behind us. Now they were, big
Kids.
but I think they were watching a ball game.
I think they're down there practicing now, though. They're over there on that side, but
They're down practicing.
that's school spirit, though. Like,
Yep.
I know that these are some bigger schools, but you like to see that because this is what it's going to take to play at this level.
Absolutely.
You're going to have to be a guy.
Two good young shortstops. Infield's been really good on both sides of this diamond.
Oh, the first base play, the digs,
Yep.
coming off the bag. We haven't seen a ball really get away from a first baseman, even if it's been a throw up.
It's 1 strike. Good pitch. Spins that. And here's the thing, Mitch. We have 8 runs up there for each team. There's no freebies out here today.
It's been pretty clean. I mean, there's been a couple of baseballs that have
Good pitch. Schomburg smiles and heads back to the dugout for strike 3.
got away. That the play early by Polite that got away from the first baseman had come off the bag a little bit. I actually thought he held the bag, but that kind of led to an opportunity. What I consider free bases is like that first and third situation, and you just let them take second. To me, that's a free bag because you didn't make a play on it.
Gotcha.
Those things right there, I think you should eliminate because they lead to runs, and they have today.
They have today.
We've seen executed bunt defense. We've seen bunts being kicked that led to runs.
Molesky at the plate is 1 strike. This young man, since he's come in to the game, and that's what we saw from the catcher. That was the only thing we really saw there. Ty Jackson struggled to keep the ball in front of him, and Molesky's cleaned that up behind the plate for Festus.
Yeah, big time, because he's definitely saved at least 2 runs back there from being in the dirt.
Polite, that's a nice play right there. Cuts that off. Makes it a strong
You don't
throw.
look like a sophomore. You don't look like a sophomore. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
That's all right. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Score still tied.
I'm here with Coach Burley today at the GAC North Classic here at Car Shield. First off, Coach, thanks for getting me out of class today on this beautiful day. To watch some baseball, Sometimes you just got to go back to the basics with them.
Sometimes, yeah.
Brian, I was going around the horn checking out scores again as more baseball games are kind of finishing, and the game that we just talked about actually is tied now 8-8 between Warrensburg and the Archangel.
Seems eerily familiar.
Yeah, it's like you turn the page and all of a sudden it's a tie ball game. There's been some big leagues squandered today by some teams, but I think some of that may be because we're at the end of the season, and these are games that might be getting some guys in. Trying to save some bodies, if you will, for for the high school playoffs. And Eureka is up 2-0 on Howell North right now, and that was a game that has just ended, and Eureka took that one 2-0.
There you go. Eureka needed that win. They'd lost some. I think Eureka has lost some games that are really kind of perplexing to me. They got to figure out their offense. They have the pitching. Their pitching is not a question. And they've got some guys at the top of that order. Craig Ringy's been hitting all year. But they got, let's see what the young catcher, Ludhauser, gets, is he back healthy and whatnot. But they're going to have to find that offense.
Yeah, he was in today's game.
Ludhauser, yeah.
Yeah, he had a hit, an RBI, and a walk. 1 for 2 on the day.
Austin Jones at the plate. Oh, and that hits him. So the winning run here in the bottom of the 7th is on base by the HBP.
Yep, we were just talking about Polite to end that last inning, that nice play that he made on his glove side.
Here he be.
Here he be. And I, as I said, this young man is just a sophomore. He does not look like a sophomore, at least in high school. Maybe a sophomore or freshman in college. He's got that kind of size, and I'll tell you, like, all you got to do is look at these athletes and how they fill out their jerseys.
Absolutely. We got a pinch runner, Mitch. Number 12, Augie Hutchinson, coming in to run for Austin Jones. So those cleats, man, he's wearing them orange cleats.
And that's not because he can run then, because he's done for the ball game.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you can't re-enter again. Yep. So Coach has really kind of put that there. So here's all the marbles right here, man. Well, Coach is putting the speed on the bags.
Yeah, do you bunt him here?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to. Because you got Polite, then Krask, and Stout. All these guys have been doing damage through this whole ball game. These three here in the 4, 5, 6 slots. Going to be a straight steal. That's a long look. Yeah,
that's off. The game within the game.
Yeah.
This is what I would love to see out of our younger.
See if they're going to get the bunt. Right?
Yeah, I would love to see in our middle school levels, coaches really start to teach this stuff.
Yeah. Popped up. Is that going to
Coming
get?
Back.
And it's just foul. That almost got pushed back fair. Oh my goodness.
You got the spin and the wind. We talked about that last time. It's, the high fly ball down the line typically would go away from the line, but when they get high like that, they have the different spin, and it ends up catching and coming
wind
back
towards
a field of play.
And you can see it in the trees back there, the winds that are back.
Oh,
they got him picked, and it is a out.
First move.
Left too soon. Coach Stott just kind of leans over. So the 1-3-6 on the out if you're scoring at home. So Polite takes a ball on the outside, 1-1.
I could tell you right now, if one of my guys gets picked off like that in a big crucial situation, I do not want them walking next to me.
That's it. That could be walked off, and it is gone. Jack Polite ends the ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning with a bomb. Woo-hoo-hoo! I think we got our player of the game, Mitch, for the Lindbergh Flyers. Oh, my goodness, that ball was crushed.
Umpire and the fans are giving the umpire some heat because they didn't call that last pitch. I will tell you that he's been on the outside corner. That still don't change the selection there because he still only would have had 2 strikes if they call it.
Cale Schomburg, our player of the game for Festus, and Jack Polite, our player of the game for the Lindbergh Flyers. We'll get them over here. We'll get some interviews going. But for my crew, and a heck of a ball game here in Lindbergh, our first time out. 9-8, Flyers win, walking it off in big-time fashion. Jack Polite for my buddy Mitch Thomas. Everybody have a great day in the Lord.